I genuinely think that Taylor Swift was only with Joe Alwyn because he was British and stable. He was there. And I'm a Vedic astrologer, so I look at everything from a Vedic point of view. And so I was looking at their charts, and I've been looking at her chart against many different celebrities, men, women, everything. And his chart differs from everybody else that she'd been with, but not in the good way. Not in the Travis Kelce way. He definitely offered stability, but he also offers distance. And I think that that created the push-pull where she kept being so kind of attached to him because it was almost like she was trying to get a reaction out of him. Because Joe is the Shatabisha sun, so he is detached by nature. This is Aquarius. They like to isolate. They like to take time for themselves. They're the opposite of the clingy kind of nature that Taylor is used to, especially with her Ashleisha K2. That's her South Node. That's what she kind of embodies by nature without even trying. And then with her chaotic Ardra moon, she was always like pushing and picking at him. But then he has a Kritika moon conjunct his Vesta, so it actually made him relatively stable, especially in Taurus. And so she'd be trying to get a reaction out of him and he's not reacting. And you might think, well, that's healthy, but not when somebody's Venus is really craving that kind of connection. Because that's actually how it seems Taylor gets in a connection with somebody. It's through your Venus, which is attraction, and it's through your Mars, which is sex. And Taylor's Venus is in Uttara Ashada, which is about stability, yes, but her Mars is in Vishaka, which is about power dynamics, power plays. And so without that, she doesn't really get that back and forth. It doesn't have long-term staying power because of it. Now, both of them stayed for a while, but that's also because both of them have those placements where it's like, well, I guess I'm here. But it never looked like it was going to be long-term stable. And ultimately, through their charts, it looks like probably Joe was the one who said no. He was the one who walked away. Because his Rohini Mars, ultimately, it wants comfort. It wants rest, it wants relaxation, it wants something steady. And her Vishaka Mars conjunct her Pluto was never going to be that. And then as she picked at him over time, he would just get fed up with it. And because his Punarvasu K2 was conjunct Chiron, like his biggest wound is staying too long. And so he essentially learned to break the pattern. Now, Taylor definitely blew it up on the way out. Like, don't get me wrong. She probably felt him detaching and then she cut it off. But in terms of where the fire started, or the lack of fire, it was with him. And that's why it's no surprise that she went for Maddie Haley right after. Because deep down, I think that's what she always wanted. She wants the fire, she wants the chaos. She said, I was with this good boy for so long and it still didn't end up working out, so you know what, fuck it. And it really speaks to just like her entire personality in general. I mean, that Uttara Ashada Venus is going to want somebody that looks good standing next to her. But ultimately, what keeps her and what makes her stay, well, that's her more intense placement. And he wasn't tapping into any of those. So anyway, follow for more.